You have clicked on Advanced Centers. In this tutorial, we're going to look at faster ways of completing the centers than we did with the beginner's method. But let's just really quickly recap the beginner's method. As you know, the center never moves. So this is the white side, this is the green side, and so on around the cube. So what we did in the beginner's method is we moved a piece next to it to create this 1x2 block. And then we moved another 1x2 block into that to create this 2x2 block. And then we moved another 1x2 block into that to create this. Then we moved a 1x3 block into this position to complete this. So there is this way to do it. Another way to do it is to complete a 1x3 block in the center, just like this, and then another one and put it in, and then another one and put it in here. So that's another way to do it. So we're going to continue to solve centers, and I'm going to show you example solves and show you some tips and tricks along the way. So I'm going to go ahead and rescramble my cube. Alright, so the first thing that you want to notice when you are doing centers is that you don't have to use white as your bottom and yellow as your top. Now in the beginner's method, we just did that to keep things clear. In this one, you can really choose whichever center you want to complete first. So I usually take a look around the cube and I try to see if there's a center that already has a 1x3 block made. So I'm looking around and I see that it doesn't. So then what I look for is a 1x2 block. So this one has a 1x2 block made. So does this one. So does this one. So there are 3 of them that I can choose. I can see that this 1x3 block here is already made for me. It's not a center one, but it's already made for me, and it's red. So let's take a look at the red side. And we see that it doesn't have anything made here. So, I'm going to go ahead and build the red side anyways, and we have to keep in mind to not try to break these up. So we have to keep in mind that they are on the right side, and we are going to try to build a 1x3 block here. So as you can see, here's a piece we can use here. So we turn it to the side and we bring it down. Now we need another one to come here, and here's one here. So I remember that we put it on the right last time, so we need this one to be on the left. Now we can bring it up here. As you can see, we've created a 1x3 block and we didn't disturb this one here. So this one is already ready to come in. So now we can create our next 1x3 block. Let's take a look around the cube, and here's a piece here. Where's the center piece? It's here. And I remember the piece I just saw was in the upper right, so it will fit if I just turn it like this. Now let's find the next one. The next one is here. So that is in the upper left. So we need this empty space to be in the upper left. And we can slice it down without disturbing the red. If the red was here like this, we would disturb the red, and we would have to move that red out of the way before we attach those pieces. Now we can just insert this like before. And in inserting this, I saw that I kicked out a full blue. And but we're not going to work on the blue yet, because we always do one side and then we do the opposite side. So here is an orange. Now in a case like this, I see that there's already a 1x2 block made. So I'm going to look around the cube to see if there's other 1x2 blocks. And I see that there's one 1x2 block made. So I'm going to go ahead and insert this one just like the beginner's method. So I'm going to insert this by putting it down, bringing it up, getting it out of the way, and realigning our reds again. So as you can see, I'm doing a 2x2 block like the beginner's method, and the only reason I chose to do it with 1x2 blocks this time instead of doing full 1x3 blocks is just because it was there and it was convenient. And when you're speed solving and you're trying to do the centers as fast as possible, a lot of the time it's better to just do what's in front of you than to try to figure things out. So what we're going to do is get another 1x2 block. So here's the center, and here is its matching piece. So that is easily matched up. Now we need to insert this up here. So what we can do is match it up, get it out of the way so we can get our red back and turn our red back. Now we need another 1x3 block. And here's the center piece here. This is easily matched up. And let's find the other one. Here it is. And the empty space for this 1x3 block is in the upper right. So that's where we need this one to be on this face. I hope I'm not going too fast for you. If I am, then please practice the beginner's method a little bit more before coming back to this, as this is more advanced stuff. So now this is easily matched up with this. And now, of course, we can insert it into here, but as you know, we can't just do that because we'll kick out our red. So we actually have to put a used space above this so we can kick it out do a 180, and bring it back. So now I'm going to choose another side. I'm probably going to choose the yellow because I can see it's already got two 1x2 blocks made. And that's one thing that you have to take, caution of when you are speed solving your centers, is that don't ever give up on work that's already done for you. So if I saw this and I went and started the green, that would slow me down because I've just destroyed some work that's already been done for me. So what I want is another 1x2 block here. So here's the centerpiece, and here is a single piece, so I can easily match that up. Now I want this to be matched up with here. So I got two choices here. I can either put it up here in the top right and then make the empty slot in the top right, or I can put it down here in the bottom left and put the empty slot in the bottom left. So I'm going to choose the bottom left. So I want the empty slot to be in the bottom left. I want to turn this over, move it out of the way, and then bring it back. So I want to match this one up with these ones. And I'm going to teach you a very, very useful trick for this. Now, when you have one here, that's the center, and then the one that belongs either here or here is opposite on either side of it, and you have a single one down here, we're going to match this one up, not on this side, but on the same side as this piece. So that's the bottom left of the center. So I want this to be on the bottom left. Now you can see as I match this up, it kicked out this one. So I match that up, it kicks it out, and then I do a 180-degree turn, and I realign this. I'm going to bring this back to the position it was, but now it's lined up with this because of that 180-degree turn. I'm sure we're going to find more of that as we go. So now we can realign this into this slot and bring it up. So let's see here. I see, I never want to do the opposite one again. I want to do either the one here or the one here. So the last two that I have are always here and here. So let's see. You got to look at the green and see what's done. I have a 2x1 block here, and the blue also has a 2x1 block. I see here there's a 2x1 block made of blue, so I'm going to do blue. I need this 2x1 block to be in the upper right. So I put it in the upper right, I insert it, I get that out of the way, and then I bring my yellows back, which I just temporarily damaged. So now I want to make another block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this piece up and out, because once it's out of this area, then we can work with it. But while it's inside the face area, this is our placing area, and these two are our building areas. So I need this to come out. So let's see. If it comes up here, there's no centerpiece here to bring it to. If it comes up here, there's no centerpiece, but we can move a centerpiece just like this. So now when we bring this piece up, it aligns with that. So let's bring it down and then bring it all the way down here. Okay, as you can see, I just made a mistake because I wasn't looking at what I was doing, and I put this in backwards. It should have been here if this had been turned like that, as you can see. But that's very easily fixed. We can just hide it using this empty slot, turning this, and then bringing it back. Now we want to move this to the side so we can work in this layer. So let's make a new one here. Here we have the same thing again. As you can see, this is opposites, right? This one can go here or here, but it's up here. Remember last time it was in the top left? Well, now it's in the top right. So we want to put the single piece underneath it in the bottom right. So we want to match it up with this in the same slot as this piece that's far away. So we bring it to the bottom right, and then we match it up, which kicks out that blue. We do the 180 turn, and we bring this back, which brings that back to the pieces that we just put in with the 180 turn. Now we see where it has to go in. It has to go in here. So let's put it on this side, bring this slot where it needs to go up, replace it with the blue, and bring it back down again. Okay, so now you can choose to either work with the white or the green, and I can see that I have a 1x3 block here that's done for me. And I also have a 1x3 block here that's done for me. So I'm going to choose the green. So I want the green side in front of me and the white side on top. I want to make this here up and down so I can work in these layers. I want to bring this piece up, put the green in, and insert the green into its place. So here's a prime example of what I was just talking about with the 180-degree turn thing. So we want to match this up with the center. In doing so, we're going to kick out this piece, as you can see. But when we do our 180 degrees and bring it back, it matches it up. And now we can insert as usual. And that is the basics of advanced centers. And it's all about looking ahead, and you're going to get faster and faster at it as you go. And now, hopefully you can follow along, and I'm going to do another scramble, and I'm going to show you again a little bit faster. Okay, here's my new scramble, and the first thing I'm going to do is scan the cube and see if I can find one that has a 1x3 block, and none of them do. So I'm looking for ones that have a 1x2 block, and it looks like the only one that does is the red side here. So I'm going to choose red, and I want to get another piece. Actually, you know what? I can see that there's 1x2 blocks made here, so I'm going to choose to insert 1x2 blocks by turning this over and bringing it down. Now I want to get another 1x2 block, and I can see that bringing this piece up to here will create another 1x2 block. So I want to bring it up, and I can see that it is in the upper left, so we want the empty slot to be in the upper left. Bringing that in, now we want to create a 1x3 block. So let's take a look around the cube. Here's a piece here, and the other two are here. So I can see the empty spot for these is in the bottom left, so I want this piece to be in the bottom left. Keeping mindful that this empty slot is here, so I don't have to redo any work. So I can bring this up, turn it to the side, and match it up. Now we want to do the opposite side. So I can see here that these two pieces could be matched up with this easily by doing an M move, a double turn, and back, and that will make this. So I'm building here, even though I'm not placing here yet. This hasn't been built enough for me to place this in here, but I saw an opportunity, so I took it to build a 1x3 block, and now I'm going to build this and insert this afterwards. So let's take a look at how we can build a 1x3 block in the center. Well, here's a center piece. So we can bring this down, and I just destroyed that one that I did and my red, so I want to get that out of the way. In fact, before I get that out of the way that way, I want to take a look. I can get this orange piece out by putting it in this layer and then bringing that back. Hopefully you guys are having an easy time understanding this. So here's another piece here, and I can see that the empty piece on this 1x3 block is on the left side, so we want that to be on the left side. Bring it down, get it out of the way, and put it back. Now let's build that 1x3 block that we already had preserved over here. So we want them to be this way to each other so we can work with them. We want to put this up, which destroyed our red center, get this out of the way, and put that back. Now we're going to make the last 1x3 block for orange. Here is a single piece, and again, as you know, when I see that I've got one center and another one on the opposite, we can put this in there, do the 180-degree turn, and turn it back. So we want this to be in the same line as this piece, but next to that, so the upper left. So we turn it to the upper left, we kick out that piece here by bringing this one up, do a 180-degree turn, and bring it back. Now we can insert this into there. Now let's take a look. Now we can do any side that we want, and I can see that right here we've got a 1x3 block, we've got a 2x1 block of the blue, we have a 2x1 block here, and over here we have the two single pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this one this way, I'm going to turn this one this way, so I can insert this 2x1 block into it here, just like this. I can see that I'm going to build onto this piece here, so I don't want that piece next to this because I want to preserve this 1x3 block. So I want to get this out of the way up top and then get that back, because if I didn't do that, I would undo the work I just did. So get that out of the way, bring this back. So now I want to build the next 1x2 block onto here and not disturb this and not disturb this. So let's take a look at where they are. Here they are here. So this one can come up to this position. So I need this piece to be here so they match up. And as you can see, I did not disturb any of my work because this whole layer here is free to move. So now I can move this into that free moving layer, and it is in the upper right. So I need the space that I'm going to put this in to be in the upper right, just like this. And now I can align this one because we've preserved it. So let's take a look. Now we want to do the one next to the blue. We can choose this one or this one. And I see that we've got a white here that is preserved. So I'm going to try to build a 1x3 block on the white side. So I need one piece next to it. So I'm going to bring this over, bring it up, and I'm going to turn it this way so I can bring this white out when I realign. Now I see that we've got another one piece that can go next to the center, which is what we need. And it is on the left side of the center, so I want the empty spot to be on the left. Bring it up, get it out of the way, and then realign our blue that we just kicked out. Now as you can see, we can insert this white up here, no problem. Get it out of the way and bring this back. So here we go. Here's another case that you can run along sometimes where these two are here and this one is here, and you can bring these two down. Or alternatively, you can bring this one up. I prefer, it's the exact same move, but it just feels different for some reason when you bring two pieces down than to just bring one piece up. I prefer bringing one piece up, but I'm going to destroy this and this at the same time when I do it because I'm moving the middle layer. So what I want to do is move this piece up, get this out of the way, and move it back down. Now as you can see, I can insert this just like before. And so now here's an interesting thing. These are exactly the same. What would I do here? Well, I'll tell you what I would do here. I've got one full 1x3 block in green here, and I've got one full 1x3 block in green here. And so you got to think about it, because if I was to bring this up and bring these back down, I would have to match this up with this, which is a lot of moves. And I don't know if I want to do that or not. And the same goes here. If I brought this down, that would be a lot of moves to match that up. So what would I do? So what I would probably do in a case like this is I would put this yellow over top of this side, and I would kick this one out. And I'd move it around. So now I only have one piece left in each. And just like in the beginner's method, I put them very close to each other, do R, U prime, R prime, and it creates our block, and now I can insert it as usual. All right, guys, so that is two examples and a whole bunch of cases on advanced center building. A lot of it is being able to look ahead and just seeing these cases as you go. So if you're getting a little bit discouraged at the speed that I went at, just practice a little bit more and it will become clear to you in no time. So I thank you for watching this, and if you want, you can go ahead and learn advanced edge pairing by clicking anywhere on the screen and taking you back to the home page.